Hi everyone, I'm Anley. Today we will learn few Chinese characters. In order to help you better understand the evolution of Chinese characters, I use red color stand for archaic inscription, golden color for bronze inscription, green color for small script, yellow is the black color for traditional character, and black color for simplified character, light blue color for radicals. Okay, let's get started. One horizontal stroke. This is the simplest Chinese character. 1. From archaic inscription, bronze inscription, and small script. For last over 3,000 years, it didn't change much. Two horizontal strokes. This is R, 2. Three horizontal strokes. This is 3, 3, 3, 3. Three horizontal strokes and one vertical stroke in the middle. And this is a Wang, Wang, Wang. It means king, and also his surname, like Mr. Wang. Archaic inscription and bronze inscription are in the shape of X. In ancient times, X initially served as tools and weapons, and later it became a symbol of royal power. Therefore, the character Wang means king. Chinese people regarded the tiger as the king of the beasts because there's a pattern on the tiger's forehead resembles the character Wang, king. So the tiger was born to be a king. As a radical, we call it a Wang Zipang, king radical. At one dot at the right side of the character Wang, this is a Yu, Yu, jade. Actually, jade is a kind of a beautiful stone. However, in China, jade has been believed to communicate with the gods and the spirits since ancient times. For example, the archaic inscription is like a string of jade pendants. It was likely worn by the kings or royal diviners when offering sacrifices to the gods and spirits. The bronze inscription was identical to the character Wang. This is why if the Chinese character with a radical Wang, it means it related to jade. Small script two jade pendants were added on both sides of the character Wang, so the modern character, this one dot is from the one jade pendant. These are the national imperial seals of the Qing dynasty, symbolizing the supreme power of the emperor. There are 25 of them in total. Among them, one is made of gold, one of sandalwood, and the remaining 23 are all carved from jade. That's because the Chinese people believe that gold has a price, but the jade is priceless, meaning gold can be valued in monetary terms, while jade is beyond such material measurement due to its cultural significance and rarity. The characters on the right side of the imperial seals are small script. Those characters on the left are Manchu script. The Qing dynasty was founded by Manchus. The minority traditionally engaged in fishing and hunting. They had their own writing system, which was created based on Mongolian script. If we move the one dot of the character Yu to the top, this character is 主, 主. It means master, honor, lord, main, primary, principal. Archaic inscription, this character looked like a lamp. Because in ancient China, when people sacrifice to gods and spirits and ancestors, they need to light up the oil lamp. The people in charge of the oil lamps are a very important person, so it also extended to the meaning of master, man. And small script is also like an oil lamp. After the Opium War in 1840, the huge war payments were passed on to the people. Chinese people living in terrible hardship, Hong Xiuquan started a group called the God Worshipping Society. Later, he organized a peasant uprising, captured Nanjing, and established the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom regime. He claimed that he was the second son of the Heavenly Father, God Jehovah, and the Heavenly Brother was Jesus Christ. The Taiping Heavenly Kingdom movement was a large-scale peasant uprising in mid-19th century in China, aiming to overthrow the Qing dynasty's rule, established a utopian society based on religious beliefs. This photo shows the imperial palace of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom in Nanjing, which stood as a rival to the Forbidden City in Beijing. Let's take a look at the imperial seal of the Taiping Heavenly Kingdom, which was preserved in National Museum of China. 天父上帝, the Heavenly Father God. 救世佑主, the young Lord who saved the world. It means the 洪秀全 son. 天兄基督, Heavenly Brother Christ. 主王于笃, the Lord and the King are steadfast. In traditional Chinese beliefs, when a person dies, his soul leaves the body, and the spirit tablet serves as the dwelling place for the deceased soul. The tablet bears the deceased's name. The character Zhu is initially written as Wang instead. This incomplete form symbolizes that the deceased soul is still wandering around. The final step of the funeral ceremony is to add a dot at the character Wang, completing it into Zhu. This act symbolizes settling the soul and securing the spirit for the deceased, granting their soul a dedicated resting place and allowing them to be worshipped by descendants, generations and generations. This character is very simple, only two strokes. Its original meaning is to pull something apart with both hands. 八 Boa Ba 8. This gesture symbolizes number 8 in China. In ancient China, people invented the use gesture to symbolize numbers. It made our life easier, especially for doing business. When the buyer and the seller bargaining in public, like bulk trading or especially antique business, they do not want other people to know the price. So they will put their hands into the sleeves and bargaining with the gestures. This is a gesture for 10 numbers. This character pronounced the mian. Bronze inscription is like two pillars support the roof, and this is a traditional Chinese architecture. The original meaning of this character is a roof, but today we don't use it alone. We use it as an important radical. We call it a 宝盖头, roof radical. On the top is a roof radical, on the bottom is a number 8. This picture could well explain this character. Over 5,000 years ago, people in China lived in this kind of a pit house. This picture is the ruins. On the top is a roof made of tree trunks. These holes are for the supporting pillars. On the bottom is a pit digging by people with hands. This character is 穴, 西穴穴. It means a cave, hole. On the top is a roof radical, like a roof of a cave. On the bottom is a character 8. It means use two hands to dig a hole. It's also an important radical. We call it a 穴宝盖, cave radical. This character is 子, 子以子. It means a son, child, seed, master. Argobon inscription is like a baby. This is the head, hair, and these are the body and the arms. Bronze inscription is more vivid. In small script, you can see the head, the body, and the arms. And this character is 字, 字以字. It means a word, character. On the top is a roof radical, refers a house. On the bottom is a character 子, refers pronunciation, also means a kid. This character means Chinese characters are composed of different radicals and basic characters, and these characters are treated like children. 八字, 8 characters. The 8 characters of birth refers to the Ganzhi calendar date of a person's birth. It consists of 4 partial characters, with each pair representing the year, month, day, and hour of the birth, respectively. Each pair is composed of 1 heavenly stem and 1 earthly branch, altogether 8 characters. In Chinese folk beliefs, the 8 characters of birth hold significant importance. Ancient Chinese Taoists and fortune tellers used them to predict a person's fate, believing that the combination and the interaction of these 8 characters can reveal a person's destiny, personality, and the good or bad luck in life. In ancient times, it was also used in marriage matching to check whether the couple's fates were compatible. It should be noted that although the 8 characters of birth are an important part of Chinese traditional culture, there's no scientific basis to prove it. It's more like a cultural heritage and a kind of a folk belief. 八字没有一撇. Literally, it means there's still not one stroke of the character 八. It describes a situation where things have not yet started or made any progress, and there's no sign of success. It implies that the foundation or initial stage of something is still lacking, so it is too early to talk about the outcome. For example, if someone say their plan to start a company is still 八字没有一撇, it means that the plan is still in a very early stage with no concrete step to taken yet. This character is a 人. Oracle inscription and the bronze inscription is a person's profile. Small script like a man's knees bent, hands touching the ground. This character is a 人, 人, man, human, person, people. When the character 人 become radical, it's a 单人旁 or 单立人, the single person radical. It's a very commonly used radical. There's many characters with the single person radical. This character is a 从. Archibald inscription and the bronze inscription, this character looks like two persons standing side by side, sometimes facing left, sometimes facing right. That's because more than 3,000 years ago, the way of writing characters was not fixed and was relatively flexible. In small script, this character had only one standardized form. This revolution represents the gradual maturation and standardization of Chinese characters. Smoso script is the product of China's first centrally government-led campaign to standardize the writing in history. In 221 BC, after Emperor Qin Shi Huang conquered the six warring states and established China's first unified dynasty, the writing characters used by the former warring states varied drastically. Even the same character had multiple forms. This situation hindered the transmission of government decrees and cultural exchanges. So Emperor Qin Shi Huang appointed his prime minister Li Si to unify the writing character of the entire country into a Smoso script. One person follows another. This character is Cong, 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 follow, from. There's one important radical is called Shuang Ren Pang, the double person radical. It's also called Shuang Li Ren, double standing person, like this German brand. But this radical doesn't come from the character Cong. It comes from the character Xing. Archival inscription and the bronze inscription is one kind of writing looks like a crossroad. The second writing is like two persons standing on the road. Smoso script has come from the third writing of the bronze inscription. The purple color writing is the Qin period bamboo and the wooden slips, and that's the origin of today's writing. This character has two pronunciations. One is xing, xing, xing. That means go, walk, travel. Also means okay, good. When it pronounced hang, 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 it means row, line, trade, industry, profession. The double person radical is the left part of this character. This character is a zhong. In archival inscription, the character has a radical r on top and three ren on the bottom. It resembles the three people working under the scorching sun. In bronze inscription, the top radical r was replaced with a mu, meaning eye. It symbolizes the slave owners supervising slaves with their eyes. A Smoso script is also an eye on the top. Additional character, the top looks like the character 4. Actually, it's a variant form of I. On the bottom, person in the middle become a single person radical. To simplify the character becomes 3 persons. In ancient China, the number 3 was used to symbolize a large quantity. So 3 people standing together, this character is a zhong, 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 the crowd, the masses. 众人, the crowd, the masses. 从众, conformity, follow the crowd, herd behavior. The character Peng in archival inscription and the bronze inscription, they look like the Chinese character Bai, means bow. It's a Chinese character when we translate bye bye, but they are not. Archival inscription and bronze inscription, you can also imagine those strokes are the pattern of the seashell. The original meaning of the character is 2 strings of seashells, each side is 5 seashells. 2 strings is 10 seashells, that's a unit of currency. This picture is a string of bronze seashells. Altogether, there's 10. This extends to the meaning of equality. The left side equals the right side, which is precisely the foundation of a friendship. Smoso script looks like a bird. It refers to kind of a mythological huge bird, rock. Later, this character became 2 moons. The character Peng is composed of 2 moons. Left side and right side is the same. Left side equals right side. That is equality, the most important foundation for friendship. Peng, 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 friend, Pao. These ancient characters depicts as 2 hands. Since one person cannot have 2 right hands, these are interpreted as 2 hands helping each other. So the original meaning of this character is a friend. 友, 友友, friend, friendly. 朋友, Peng Peng, Yo Yo, friend. The character Peng is composed of 2 identical yue, meaning moon, symbolizing that friends are equal. The character Yo is like 2 hands helping each other. Is there a distinction between Peng and Yo in traditional Chinese culture? In ancient China, people believed 同门为朋, fellow disciples are 朋, 同志为友, like-minded people are 友. Fellow disciples usually refers to people who study under the same teacher or school. They are connected by their shared academic background or master-disciple relationship. As Peng means that a friendship is formed among these people, this kind of friendship is built on shared learning experiences, similar values, and mutual understanding. The friendship between fellow disciples is often deep, as they not only help each other in studies, but also support one another in life. In ancient academies, students who studied together often became good friends through a long-term companionship and academic cooperation. Even after graduation, these friends remained in close contact and supported each other's careers and lives. Confucius had 3,000 disciples, among whom 72 were virtuous and talented scholars. And these disciples are Peng. Like-minded people here refers to those who share the same aspirations, beliefs, or pursuits. They may come together because of their recognition of a certain idea, goal, or cause. Their friendship is not merely based on personal preferences or interest exchanges, but also shared ideals and beliefs. This kind of friendship is more firm and long-lasting, as it involves one's values and spiritual pursuits. Just as there were salons in the West, ancient China also have a similar events called Yaji, which refers to elegant gatherings where literati, scholars, and artists gather to compose poems, create calligraphy, paint, appreciate antiques, and discuss art and culture, embodying the refined spiritual pursuit of traditional intellectuals. And these people are 友, 朋友, friend. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye bye. Hi, I'm Emily. Today we will learn two Chinese characters, 朋友, friend. I use a different color to symbolize the different characters, so you can better understand the evolution of Chinese characters. Red color is the archibald inscription, golden color is the bronze inscription, green color is Smoso script, black color is the Yellow Ages traditional character, black color is simplified character. Okay, let's get started. The character Peng in archibald inscription and the bronze inscription, they look like the Chinese character Bai, means bow. It's a Chinese character when we translate bye bye, but they are not. Archibald inscription and bronze inscription, you can also imagine those strokes are the pattern of the seashell. The original meaning of the character is two strings of seashells. Each side is 5 seashells. Two strings is 10 seashells. That's a unit of currency. This picture is a string of bronze seashells. Altogether, there's 10. This extends to the meaning of equality. The left side equals the right side, which is precisely the foundation of a friendship. Smoso script looks like a bird. It refers to kind of a mythological huge bird, rock. Later, this character became two moons. The character Peng is composed of two moons. Left side and right side is the same. Left side equals right side. That is equality, the most important foundation for friendship. Peng, Peng, friend, Pao. These ancient characters depicts as two hands. Since one person cannot have two right hands, these are interpreted as two hands helping each other. So the original meaning of this character is a friend. 友, 友, friend, friendly. 朋友,朋友, friend. The character Peng is composed of two identical yue, meaning moon, symbolizing that friends are equal. The character You is like two hands helping each other. Is there a distinction between Peng and You in traditional Chinese culture? In ancient China, people believed 同门为朋, fellow disciples are 朋, 同志为友, like-minded people are 友. Fellow disciples usually refers to people who study under the same teacher or school. They are connected by their shared academic background or master-disciple relationship. As Peng means that a friendship is formed among these people, this kind of friendship is built on shared learning experiences, similar values, and mutual understanding. The friendship between fellow disciples is often deep, as they not only help each other in studies, but also support one another in life. In ancient academies, students who studied together often became good friends through a long-term companionship and academic cooperation. Even after graduation, these friends remained in close contact and supported each other's careers and lives. Confucius had 3,000 disciples, among whom 72 were virtuous and talented scholars. And these disciples are Peng. Like-minded people here refers to those who share the same aspirations, beliefs, or pursuits. They may come together because of their recognition of a certain idea, goal, or cause. Their friendship is not merely based on personal preferences or interest exchanges, but also shared ideals and beliefs. This kind of friendship is more firm and long-lasting, as it involves one's values and spiritual pursuits. Just as there were salons in the West, ancient China also have a similar events called Yaji, which refers to elegant gatherings where literati, scholars, and artists gather to compose poems, create calligraphy, paint, appreciate antiques, and discuss art and culture, embodying the refined spiritual pursuit of traditional intellectuals. And these people are 友, 朋友, friend. This character is 我和我火, fire. It also means anger, because when people are angry, like he is burning, in social media, it means go viral. In English, it refers it's like virus spread out. And in Chinese, it refers it's get hotter and hotter while burning. This is a character fire, 火, evolved for 3,000 years. It's like in the beginning, in a primitive society, people need to keep the fire burning, so there's a stone around the campfire. Later, with the development of technology, people can make fire at any time. When we remember this character, it's just like a flame of the fire. Another way you can imagine in the middle is a Ren, person. He's like a performer playing with the fire in his hands. Or like in the Greek mythology, Prometheus brought fire to human being. 火 is also an important radical. There's three forms. One is called 火字旁, fire side. Normally it's on the left side of a character. Another one is 火字底, fire bottom. It's on the bottom of the character. Another one is 四点底, 4-point bottom. It symbolizes a flame of the fire. Normally it's on the bottom of the character. As a fire side, there's so many characters. These are frequently used characters. I didn't show those we seldom use. As a fire bottom, there's a few characters, and later we'll learn one. As a 4-point bottom, there are also many characters. Normally, it's related with temperature, cooking. It also refers to animals' tail and leg, such as a swallow, bear, lamb, and some traditional character, horse, bird, and fish. But later, they were all simplified to become one stroke. Now, let's take a look at this bronze inscription. On the top, it's like a house is on fire. On the bottom is a rip. A person is carrying the water to put out the fire. This is a small script, and this is a traditional character. So we can see the traditional character was based on the small script. Left side is a water. Later, it became the water radical 三点水, 3-dot water. In the middle is the fire, 火. On the right, this character is 虚, 气于虚. And what's this? When we learn the character 虚, we have to compare with 物. There's a little difference. You put one stroke in 物, you got 虚. It's like when I learn English, you compare the similar words when you're learning. It's easy to remember, and you could kill two birds with one stone. Both the two characters were like ancient weapons. It's also ritual objects used for ceremony to show the power of the king and dukes. These ritual objects had profound influence of traditional Chinese culture. Let's see some proof. This is a 天干地支, heavenly stems and earthly branches. People in ancient China used them to count years. When these symbols are combined, they make a cycle that repeats every 60 years. It's also used for fortune telling. You can see Wu is a fifth of the heavenly stems, and Xu is the 11th of the earthly branches. So the year of Wu Xu is 1898. In that year, the Emperor Guangxu of the Qing dynasty launched a reform movement. We call it Wu Xu Bianfa. If we match the 12 characters of the earthly branches to the 12 months, the 11th character Xu refers to November. That's in the winter, it's very cold, freezing, so the young air is extinguished. So this character, the fire is in the middle. The water on the left is used to put out fire. The character Wu symbolizes November. In the winter, all the young air was gone. You can also imagine it's like a fire axe. Later, when this character was simplified, they kept the character in the middle. This picture well explained the traditional character, and this one is like a use of firefighting blanket cover the fire. 灭, 摸夜灭, extinguish, put out. How to remember this character? On the bottom is fire. The stroke on the top symbolizes a fire extinguisher. This is the evolution of this character 灭, 灭火, firefighting. This character is 日, 日一日. That means sun, day, daytime. And why there's a horizontal stroke in the middle? This horizontal stroke comes from the small dot in the circle of the archibald inscription. There's a book written in 140 BC called Huainan Zi, Master Huainan. It records that there is a scorching cloud in the sun. It is the earliest description of the appearance of the sunspots. Also, the Han Shu records the sunspot in more detail. 成帝和平元年, the first year of Heping during the reign of Emperor Chengdi in the Han Dynasty. That was 28 BC. 日出黄有黑气大如钱居中央. The sun rose yellow, and there was a black gas as large as a coin residing in the center of the sun. The horizontal stroke in the middle of the character 日 represents sunspots. The character 日 is a very commonly used character in Chinese. They can form the words such as 日夜 day and night, 日子 days, life, and 节日 festival, holiday. A special 日子 is 节日，日常 daily, everyday, 日记 diary, 写日记是一件日常行为。Keeping a diary is a daily activity. There's an idiom, it's called 后羿射日. In ancient times, there were originally 10 suns, and only one of them would work each day. Once all the 10 suns appeared in the sky together, which caused the land to dry up, crops to die, and the people to suffer greatly. The god of heaven then sent Hou Yi, a divine archer, down to the mortal world. Hou Yi took his bow and arrows and shot down 9 of the 10 suns in succession. Just as he was about to shoot the 10th sun, people stopped him, saying, "Leave one sun, we can survive." Then Hou Yi put down his bow. From then on, the only remaining sun rose and set on time. People returned to a peaceful life, and Hou Yi became a hero who saved the world. 3 Ri characters form a new character, Jing, Jing, Jing. Its origin meaning is bright, sparkling, glittering, and also it means a crystal. The ancient Chinese noticed that the crystal were always bright and sparkling, and the arrangement of the 3 Ri characters also resembles the form of a crystal. The character Jing can form several words, both Shui Jing and Jingti, a crystal. However, Chinese people realized this kind of crystal as transparent like water, so we call it a 水晶, water crystal. Other related words are 晶莹 means bright and translucent, and 亮晶晶 sparkling. 水晶是一种晶莹亮晶晶的晶体. Crystal is a kind of bright, translucent, and sparkling crystal. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye bye. These two characters looks very similar. This one is Wang, Wang Wang, it means king. The other one is Yu, Yu Yu, means jade. At one dot at the character Wang, it's Yu. The archibald inscription is originated from axe. In the Stone Age, the caveman make a stone axe as a tool. During the Bronze Age, people make a bronze axe as a tool and a weapon. This bronze axe is obviously not a tool. The ancient bronze axe initially served as a weapon, and later evolved into a symbol of military authority for tribal leaders and kings. So the archibald inscription, the character looks like an axe. A bronze inscription is more vivid. Small script become 3 horizontal strokes and 1 vertical stroke. Next, let's take a look at the character Yu. Archibald inscription, the characters look like a string of jade pendant. Ancient Chinese people believed that jade could preserve the crops from decay, so jade objects were buried as funeral items in the tombs of kings and nobles. Actually, the bronze axe and the jade pendant were all excavated from ancient tombs. Bronze inscription is a 3 horizontal stroke and 1 vertical stroke. Like the small script of the character Wang, the character Wang and Yu are interchangeable. Small script looks like 2 pieces of jade beside the character Wang. Later, just put 1 dot beside the Wang. Since the ancient writing, Wang and Yu are interchangeable, so when the character Wang as a radical, we call it Wang Zipang, king radical. It refers to jade. If you find a Chinese given name, there's a king radical on the left side. That means that this is a character related to the beautiful jade. I'm afraid that only the Chinese people have such a deep and enduring passion for jade in the whole world. Wang, Wang, king, surname. Chinese people believe that a tiger is the king of the beast because the patterns on his forehead happen to resemble the Chinese character Wang, king. This character is Yu, jade. Initially, the jade means a beautiful stone. This is a piece of jade carving collected in the Forbidden City. The raw material is a jade tribute from Xinjiang. After craftsmen extracted the finest part to make a jade bowl, other jade carvers cleverly created this jade carving using the remaining leftover material. In the previous video, we have learned the character Fu. The bronze inscription on the top is a roof radical. Under the roof, there's a character Wang, refers jade. On the right is a wine urn, and under it is a character Shi, refers the offering table. So during the sacrifice, the offering is a jade and a wine. There's one kind of saying, jade is the food of God, and the wine is his drink. About over 5,000 years ago, there existed a civilization in some areas of northeastern China. We call them a Hongshan culture. People discovered a C-shaped jade dragon, known as the first dragon of China, as well as the jade pig dragons. There's also a three-tiered circular stone altar at the head of a goddess statue was found at the temple site. More than 3,000 years ago, the Liangshu culture was discovered in the lower reaches of the Yangtze River. Jade Bi, Yu Bi, and Jade Cong, Yu Cong are very distinctive. In ancient times, our ancestors used jade objects to worship the god. The jade Bi was used to worship the heaven, and the jade Cong was used to worship the earth. Based on the concept heaven is round, earth is square, so jade Bi looks like a cookie. Where did the jade come from? Ancient books recorded that jade comes from the Kunlun Mountains. Stretching across the western China, the Kunlun Mountains are where the immortals lived, and also the original source of jade, and this is the jade mine. In 141 BC, Emperor Wudi of the Han Dynasty sent Zhang Qian on the two missions to the western regions, breaking isolation between China and the western regions. Later, he dispatched the troops to defeat the Xiongnu forces, and in 60 BC, the Han Dynasty gained control of the western regions. The jade from the Kunlun Mountains began to be transported to the capital. The Jade Road, which connected the western regions and the Central Plains, was an early trade route that laid the foundation for the Silk Road. In China's ancient civilizations, jade was used as a sacrifice for worshipping gods and the spirit, and also served as a medium to communicate with heaven and earth. Entering the imperial era, jade also became a symbol of royal power. Emperors and nobles after their deaths would be dressed in clothes made of jade pieces connected with a gold thread, just like armor, intended to preserve their corpse from decay. In reality, jade has no preservative function, but the ancient people's obsession with jade made them turn a blind eye to this fact. Effective control over the western regions not only provided a stable supply of jade to the Central Plain, but also became a direct symbol of China's realization of a strong unification. This jade culture was passed down by different dynasties during the feudal dynasties, even by non-Han regimes. This huge wine arm carved from jade is a rare relic of the Yuan dynasty in Beijing. A huge piece of jade raw materials come from the western region and weighs 3,500 kilograms, and is now preserved in the Beihai Park adjacent to Forbidden City. In 1265, Kublai Khan held a grand feast for his ministers using this huge jade carving wine vessel. After the fall of the Ming Dynasty in 1644, the Qing Dynasty, founded by the Manchu ethnic groups, ruled China. Between 1755 and 1759, Emperor Qianlong suppressed the rebellions in the western regions twice. In 1762, he established the Yili General Post, bringing the western regions under a direct and stable jurisdiction of the central government. Later, the Qing dynasty gradually refers this region as Xinjiang. It doesn't mean new territory, which means the old territory returns to the motherland. So that's the reason why we call it Xinjiang. After the Qing dynasty gained the full control over the Xinjiang region, and the steady stream of jade were continuously transported to Beijing. Thousands of people participated in the jade mining each year. Tens of thousands of kilos of Hetian jade were tributed annually, providing sufficient raw materials for the production of the core jadeware. Emperor Qianlong was obsessed with the Hetian jade. He also had a Hetian jade carved into the imperial seals, serving as symbols of imperial power. This huge piece of jade carving is called Yu the Great Taming the Flood. It weighs about 5 tons and 2.2 meters high. The raw material jade was quarried from Xinjiang and transported all the way to Beijing, and through Grand Canal shipped to South China Yangzhou because the best craftsman was in South China. After the finished carving, transported back to Beijing, altogether took 10 years. It's a masterpiece of a Qianlong-era craftsmanship, depicts the legendary hero's efforts to control flood. There's an old Chinese saying, 黄金有价, 玉无价. Gold has a fixed price, but jade is priceless. Even today, Hetian jade remains extremely expensive. Its resources are scarcer than gold, and its mining is more difficult. Although Russia had jade resources, the jade quality cannot compare with the jade from Hetian, Xinjiang. Why does jade hold an unshakable position in China? The deeper reason lies in the jade culture. The so-called jade is a beautiful stone. In Confucianism, gentlemen have 5 noble virtues: benevolence, righteousness, wisdom, courage, and purity. Corresponding to these virtues are the jade's 5 characteristics. It is smooth and lustrous in texture, consistent in the inner and outer qualities, produces a clear sound when struck, is not easily damaged, and has smooth fractures that will not hurt others. Even the Yuan dynasty and the Qing dynasty was ruled by the Mongolians and the Manchurians, but the emperors needed Confucianism to rule the country, especially the Qing dynasty. The emperor emphasized the Confucian education on the younger generations. So the Emperor Qianlong's obsession with jade also symbolized the powerful appeal of Chinese culture. This character is Yu, jade, and this character is Mian. As radical, we call it Bao Gai Tou, roof radical. Under roof radical, there's a jade. What's this character? Let's take a look at our Arkabon inscription first. Under the roof, there's a one character. And what does this mean? And below it is the character Bei. It refers money. So this character is a container. It means a money box. A bronze inscription under the roof, there's a piece of jade, and there's an adult and a baby. So this means both the children and adults in the family are as precious as jade. Small script and the traditional character are similar. Under the roof, there's a character Wang, refers jade. On the right, this is character Fo, it means container. On the bottom is the character Bei, refers money. This character means the jade and the money put into the safe in the house, that is a treasure. The simplified character under the roof is a piece of jade, 宝, 宝, treasure, jewel, precious, rare. And this is a Palace Museum in Taipei, and this is a Palace Museum in Beijing. Under the traditional roof, there's a jade inside, 宝贝, 宝, boy, bei, treasure, 宝宝 or 宝宝, that means a baby, because the baby is a treasure of parents. 宝玉, 宝, yu, precious jade. Jia Baoyu is also a main character in the Dream of Red Mansion, a classic Chinese literary masterpiece. According to the legend in the book, he was born with a piece of jade in his mouth, hence the name Jia Baoyu. Bei Bao, PayPal, translated to Chinese is Bei Bao, boy Bei, Bao Bao. This is the simplest Chinese character, just one horizontal stroke. It's Yi. The small script, there's another kind of writing. Let's add a character Ge. Ge means a dagger axe. Why there's a weapon? In ancient books, it recorded 国之大事在祀与戎. The great affairs of state lie in sacrifice and warfare. Sacrificing to gods and ancestors and waging war is the most important thing for a country. Weapons is a tool of war. It's like the counting of a dagger axe. 一, 1. This character is a 口. The ancient characters just look like a mouse. 口, 口, mouth, opening, entrance. This character is a 田. Archibald inscription looks like the fields. Bronze inscription, the cross in the middle like the ridges of the field. And this is 田. 田, 和言田, field. This character is a 福. Archibald inscription, the bronze inscription, is like a bronzeware used for worshipping ceremony. On the top is a container. On the bottom is a stove. This bronzeware, there's also a doorman outside the door. And the window is just like a character Tian. This character is a Fu, Fu Wu Fu. It means a fool. The pronunciation like English. This character is a Shi. As mentioned before, the great affairs of state lies in sacrifice and warfare. In Archibald inscription, the character is just like an altar for sacrifice. This is an ancient Arabic stone altar. If we put it upside down, it's just like the Archibald inscription. In this picture, this is an offering table, and behind it is a shrine. And inside, this is a tablet of the God of Heaven. In the Temple of Heaven in Beijing, every winter solstice, the emperor would worship a God of Heaven on behalf of all the people. In ancient China, only the emperor was allowed to worship a God of Heaven. So, in the Zhou dynasty, the king was called Tianzi, son of heaven. Since only Emperor Long was allowed to worship a God of heaven, all the other Chinese could only worship their own ancestors. And by the way, after China lost the Opium War in 1840, the Western missionaries was allowed to preaching in China. Christianity believed there's only one true God. You could only worship God. But Chinese people have been worshiping their ancestors for 1,000 years. So most of the Chinese people could not accept that. So the Boxers rose up. They burned down the church and killed the missionaries and believers. And this led to the 8 Allied forces occupied Beijing, and this is the Boxers' Rebellion. This character is Shi, Shi Yi Shi. This character refers to offering table. On the top is the offerings. On the bottom is the table. When people sacrifice to God and ancestors, they wish they could get the oracle. So later, it extended to show, indicate, demonstrate. As a radical, we call it a 士字旁, 士 radical. This character is a fu. The bronze inscription on the top is a roof radical. It refers to house. Inside the house, there's a character wang, refers to jade. On the right is a jar of wine, alcohol. On the bottom is an offering table. Jade and alcohol is a sacrifice to God. Another writing is on the offering table, there's one jar of alcohol. Two persons stand on both sides. Another writing is two persons standing beside the offering table. Small script on left side is a character 是, refers to offering table. On the right is a character 福, refers to a jar of alcohol used for sacrifice. The character 福 could be disassembled to 是一口甜. Left side is 是 radical, refers to offering table. It also means the oracle of a god. On the right is a character 福, refers pronunciation. It also means the utensil used for sacrifice. It also means full. The alcohol in the jar is full, and the blessing from God is full. From another perspective, China is an ancient traditional agricultural country. People worship God and ancestors. They hope they could be blessed, and the crop from the field could feed the mouth. Fu, 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 fortune, blessing, happiness, good luck. Now let's talk about the Chinese food culture. When the Chinese New Year coming, people would put a character Fu on the door. Behind the door on the screen wall, there's also a character Fu. It's also on the wall, on the porcelain, paper cutting, and the lacquerware. The Chinese people's pursuit of Fu has truly taken root in their hearts. And sometimes you could also see the character Fu was put upside down. We call it 福到了. The character Fu is upside down because the character Dao upside down and another Dao arrive is a homophone. So put the character Fu upside down also means fortune has arrived, blessing has come. Speaking of the character Fu, there's a Fu written by Emperor Kangxi of the Qing dynasty in a cave within the rockery of Prince Gong's mansion in Beijing, which is known as the Fu number 1 under heaven. This character is a Chong. Archibald inscription is like a worm. Another writing of a bronze inscription is like a snake. Small script is transformed. The modern character follow the small script. In ancient China, people call the tiger 大虫 because the top view of the tiger is just like a caterpillar. This character is a 虫, 赤蚊虫, insect, worm, bug. Silkworm is the most important worm for Chinese people. As a radical, it's called a 虫字旁, worm radical. It not only refers worms, but also small animals like a frog, a snake. This character is a Fu. Bronze inscription is like a drawing of a bat. Small script, left side is a worm radical, refers to small animals. On the right is a character Fu, refers pronunciation. Fu, 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 bat. Left side, the worm radical refers small animal. Character Fu on the right refers pronunciation. It also has a meaning of fool, and you can imagine in the sky is full of bats. In the Western world, the bat is related to vampire, but in China, the bat and happiness is same pronunciation. So Chinese people use the bat as similar as happiness or fortune, especially the royal family of the Qing dynasty. For example, this person played with a pattern of 五福捧寿, 5 blessings surrounding longevity, embodying the beautiful wish for happiness and longevity. The character in the center is a transformed show, longevity, and is surrounded by 5 bats. It means 5 blessings pursued by ancient Chinese people. The first one is longevity, living a long life without a premature death, enjoying a full and extended lifespan. Number 2, prosperity and honor, having enough wealth and holding a respected social status. Number 3, health and peace, being physically healthy and mentally tranquil. Number 4, virtue, being kind and possessing noble moral character. And number 5, a good end, passing away peacefully without suffering disaster or misfortune. These are some objects with the pattern of a bat in the Forbidden City. The mirror, porcelain, hairpin, emperor's robe, mechanical fan, snuff bottle, coral decoration. These are designs of bats in architecture. This is a plaque in the Summer Palace. It's in the shape of a bat, and on the plaque there's a character Fu. And this is the Chinese food culture. Even the bat is ugly, but its name is a homophone of happiness, so Chinese people love it. So having a good name is very important. This character is a seashell. Archibald inscription and the bronze inscription looks like a seashell. Small script, I found out it looks like a razor climb, and that is the origin of the modern character. 中国, China. It means the Middle Kingdom, and this is the Yellow River, and this is the Yangtze River. That's the mother rivers of China. The earliest civilization was along the two rivers. The earliest country was built along the Yellow River basin. It was located in the middle and far from the ocean, so the seashells are rare. It was used as a currency, coinware. However, seashells are not durable. They can wear down and break. So people also use a bond to carve in the shape of a seashell. Later, they cast the copper in the shape of a seashell. Over 2,500 years ago, when the Zhou dynasty collapsed, many states became independent, and different countries cast different copper coins. Some was in the shape of a knife, some was in a spade, and some was a round copper coin. It was not until 2021 BC, Emperor Qin Shi Huang conquered all the states and unified China. Different states use different characters, and they were all standardized to become the Smoso script, which we use the green color to symbolize. And all the copper coins become the Qin copper coin. Ancient Chinese believed the heaven is round, the earth is square. So the copper coin is in the round shape, and in the middle there's a square hole. This character is bei, boy, bei, seashell, coinware. PayPal, when they translate to Chinese, is a bei bao. Bei sounds like a pay, bao sounds like a pao. Actually, bao means treasure, and you can find the logo in Chinese version. The dot was a use of copper coin. Three seashells pile up together. This character is a bi, boy bi. It means a hard effort, looking like one's putting in effort. Every Chinese character makes sense, so I think it over. I found one Chinese idiom could explain this character. The idiom is 鹬蚌相争, the snipe and the clam grapple. The story goes like this. The snipe tried to eat a clam, but its beak was clamped by the clam. Later, a fisherman caught both of them. The clam is also a type of shellfish. It needs to use a great deal of strength to climb down a bird's beak. It got no legs. If it want to move, he have to make a great effort. So one seashell is hard to move. Three of them is three times harder. This is a rare character. This character is 人. It means a man, human, person, people. It looks like a person standing with legs apart. But when we explore the origin of this character, it does not look like this. Archibald inscription, it looks like the profile of a person, same as a bronze inscription. A Smoso script, like a person, his knees bent, hands touching the ground, and this is the modern character. So this is the evolution of the Chinese character 人. This character Archibald inscription and the bronze inscription also look like a person's profile, but the body has become more bent. This is a dead body. Flexed burial can be traced back as early as 30,000 years ago. Smoso script, it looks like a curved corpse. Traditional character put the character 死 on the bottom. It means death. Simplified character removed the death. This picture is a tomb of a noble 1,000 years ago, and you can find the jade pieces around the body. And this picture is the emperor's jade clothes over 2,000 years ago in the Han Dynasty. When the emperor and the dukes died, he would be dressed in clothes made of jade plate and gold thread, because the ancient Chinese believe that the jade can prevent the body from decaying. And this is the Chinese jade culture. This character is a shi, corpse. Traditional character and the corpse is a character 死, death. And this makes sense. Corpse is a dead body. Shi is also radical, corpse radical. Yan Zhenqing was a renowned statesman and calligrapher in the Tang Dynasty. In his calligraphy, we also found the symbolized character of the Shi. So in 1950s, during the Chinese character simplification movement, people also tried to find some ancient simplified character to replace the traditional character. These characters under the corpse radical, there's a character bei, seashell. This character is xi, xi. It means the appearance of strong. It's also a rare character. This is an exhibition in the museum. In the middle is a dead corpse. One side is a dragon made of seashell. The other side is a tiger made of seashell. They made it look like strong. Bi xi, boy bi, xi xi. It's a tortoise-like creature. He is one of the 9 sons of the dragon in Chinese mythology. because he liked to carry the heavy load, so people let him to carry the stone tablet. This is the biggest stone-carved BC in China, 8.4 meters long and weighed 107 tons. When I see it in a temple, I was shocked. Over 1,100 years ago, there was a military governor who ordered the carving of this giant stele to record his achievements. Later, after he rebelled and was surprised, the stele was smashed and buried underground. This is the top of the stele carved of the dragon, and this is the broken body of the stele. This character is a Kou. For the last 3,000 years, it didn't change much. It means our mouth, refers to mouth or container, and also means opening. As a radical, we call it the 口字旁, mouth side. If we squeeze the character 口 and put a horizontal stroke in the middle, this character is a 中, 中, means middle. If you play the mahjong, you will find the one tile with the character 中 in the red color, so we call it the 红中, red middle. The Archibald inscription and the bronze inscription, this is the flagpole. In the middle is the flag. These are the tassels. Small script is the flagpole with the flag in the middle. And we could find this ancient flag. There's one ancient classical novel, Outlaws of the Marsh. This flag is for the rebellions. The character in the middle is 替天行道, enforce justice on behalf of heaven. This picture is the Guangdong customs in the Qing dynasty, and you can see the flags in the middle of the flagpole. This bronzeware is a Hezun. It's from the early Western Zhou dynasty about 3,000 years ago. There are 122 inscriptions at the bottom, and these are bronze inscriptions. You could find 4 characters, 宅兹中国. It is the earliest written record of the term 中国, Middle Kingdom. The character 宅 means to live, settle. 资 means this or here. 中 is middle. 国 is a country. So 宅资中国 is reside in the center of the world. It shows that the Western Zhou dynasty recognized the ancient city Luoyang and the surrounding areas as the central position of the world at that time. 中 中 center, middle, medium, signal, in. 中年危机 中 is middle, 年 is years, 危机 is crisis, 中年危机 middle life crisis, 中产阶级 中 is middle, 产 is property, 阶级 is class, 中产阶级 middle class, 中央商务区中央 is central, 商务 is business, 区 is district, 中央商务区 central business district, CBD. 中 has another pronunciation, the fourth tongue, 中 中. It means a hit target, a 箭. 中靶 中 is a hit, 靶 is target. 中靶 hit a target. 中枪中 is a hit, 枪 is gun. 中枪 that shot. 中奖中 is a 10, 奖 is a prize. 中奖 win a prize in a lottery. This character is 吕. Archibald inscription and bronze inscription as 2 people under the flag. Another writing of a bronze inscription is 3 people under the flag. Another one is like chariot. Small script left side is a flag, on right side 3 people. 吕 The radical on left side is 方 方. That means a direction, side, square. This character is left side flag, on right side 3 people. 吕乐于旅 Brigade Travel 中旅中乐于旅 China Tourism Group China Travel Service. There are 2 state-owned travel agencies. This character is a 车. In Archibald inscription, it's like a chariot, and this is an ancient Chinese chariot over 2,000 years ago. Another writing of a bronze inscription just used a wheel stand for the chariot, and small script and the traditional character followed until it was simplified in 1950s and 60s. And we'll find out the chariot of the ancient kings in China and the pharaohs in Egypt is very similar. The traditional character of a 车 has 2 explanations. One is the top view of chariot. This is the carriage. This is 2 wheels on both sides. Another explanation is in the middle is the wheel. On 2 sides is a part fixed wheel. The simplified character is easy to write. It's like a motorcycle rider. 车 automobile, vehicle, car. 中车 中车 CRRC And you can see the logo of the company is just like the character 车. This character is Jun. In bronze inscription, we can see in the middle is a character 车, and there's something around it. This character we can figure out this is a weapon, like the dagger axe. From this picture, we can see the cavalry circle around and protect the chariot. The traditional character is a cover on the top of the 车. This is dagger axe for protection. Jun, army, troops, armed forces. This is a bronze chariot excavated from the Emperor Qin Shi Huang's tomb. Above the chariot, there's an umbrella. It's very vivid, just like the character Jun. Bing Ma Yong, terracotta warriors, and the bronze chariot are burial objects in Qin Shi Huang's tomb. Zhongjun, the middle troops, is a term in ancient warfare. That's where the general stayed giving orders. Junche, military vehicle. This character is a single door of a gate. It's pronounced hu, hu hu. It means a single door household family. This character is a kou. It means a mouth, opening, entrance. Hu kou, household registration, registered permanent residence. In the Bible, it said in those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This system, adopted in China in 685 BC, is called Bianhu Qimin. It means registered households as equal people. It's an important manifestation of the centralized imperial system in ancient China's grassroots management. It closely connects individuals with the state through household registration, which not only maintains the rules of the dynasty, but also profoundly influences the production, life, and the social structure of ancient Chinese. Basic character is Guang, Gewang Guang. Its early meaning is the house built under the cliff. Later, it extended to wide, broad, extensive. You put a character Hu under the character Guang, it's Lu, Lu. It means a hut, cottage. So this character is under the cliff. There's one door of a house. In 三国演义, the romance of the three kingdoms, there's one story. It's called 三顾茅庐, three visits to the thatched cottage. The story goes like this. During the late Han Dynasty, Liu Bei, eager to recruit talented people to assist him in achieving his great goal, heard that Zhuge Liang was a man of exceptional wisdom and strategy living in Longzhong. Determined to invite Zhuge Liang to join him, Liu Bei, along with his sworn brother Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, made 3 trips to Zhuge Liang's thatched cottage. On the first 2 visits, they failed to meet Zhuge Liang, either because he was out or pretending to be asleep to test their sincerity. Despite the setbacks and the cold weather on the third trip, Liu Bei remained patient and respectful. Finally, moved by Liu Bei's perseverance and sincerity, Zhuge Liang met him. During their conversation, Zhuge Liang analyzed the current situation in the world and put forward the famous Longzhong Plan, which laid the foundation for the establishment for Liu Bei's regime. 三顾茅庐, 3 visits to the thatched cottage, symbolizing sincerity and perseverance in seeking talent or advice. Lushan. Lushan Mountain is a famous summer resort in China. Over 1,000 years ago, a famous poet Li Bai, he wrote a poem, 望庐山瀑布, viewing the Lushan waterfall. 日照香炉生紫烟. The sun shines on the incense burner peak where purple meets the rise. 遥看瀑布挂前川. From afar, a waterfall hangs like a stream before a mountain. 飞流直下3000尺. It flows down 3,000 feet. 疑是银河落九天. I wonder if it's a Milky Way pouring from the night heaven. This character is like put 2 single doors together to make a gate. It's like a cowboy's door. It's pronounced 门, 门, gate, door. In the Forbidden City or other ancient buildings, you can still find the ancient character 太和门, the gate of supreme harmony. 门口, entrance, doorway. 大门, big gate, main gate, front door, entrance. 门户, this is an old-fashioned word. It means affection, especially for martial arts. This is the model of a house in the primitive society. On the roof, there's a window. This character in the small script is come from that window. And in some classical Chinese gardens, people still use this kind of window. We call it a huachuang, flower window. Another writing is a square. In the middle is the window lattice. On the top, there's a horizontal stroke, just like the branches over the roof. And what's this character? This character is a cong, cong. Original meaning is a roof window. Now it means a chimney. In the early times, people use roof window for lighting and ventilation, and smoke can also go out from the roof window. Today in Shanghai and Suzhou, some old house, you can still find this kind of a roof window. Local people call it a 老虎窗, tiger window. Why is it called tiger window? Because after 1860, Second Opium War, Shanghai was opened as a trading port. The roof light of Western architecture influenced the Chinese residents. The English word roof sounds like the Shanghai dialect 老夫, tiger. So people call the roof window tiger window. The famous architect M. Pei is from Suzhou, and he designed the Suzhou Museum, and you can find the elements of the tiger window. Let's take a look at the bronze inscription. On the top is a roof radical, like a roof of a house. Inside the house, on left side is an oil lamp. On the right is a character Da, big. It's like a flame. A small script, based on the bronze inscription, on the top of the oil lamp, there's a smoke. Another writing of the small script, on left side is a fire. On the right side is an oil lamp and a smoke. And this character is a yan, yan, yan. The character yan on the left side is a character huo, fire. On the right is a character yin, that means because. In China, we have slang, it's a yin huo sheng yan. Smoke is produced by fire. And put because and fire together, and we got a yan, yan, yan. Smoke, tobacco, cigarette. Yan cong, yan, yan, cong, cong. That means a chimney. It's a roof window for smoke. In the factory, there's a chimney. Old-fashioned stove has a chimney. When we eat the hot pot, there's also a chimney. 大烟, 大烟烟. Literally, it means a big smoke. It's a common name for opium. We have learned the roof radical and the cave radical. We take a look at the small script. The character Cong has another kind of writing, as a put a cave radical on the top of the character. In northwest of China, people live in the cave dwelling. It's just like this character. And what does it mean? This character is a chuang, chiwang chuang, window. I found a picture of the window of the church. It can also explain this character. On the top is cave radical, and below it is the character cong. The Chinese character is interesting. 窗户, chuang chuang, 和五户. Chuang means window. Hu is a single door. Tian chuang, 特烟天, shuang chuang. Tian is a heaven. Chuang is a window. In architecture, it means a skylight. In a car, it's a sunroof. In China, there's a very kind of a popular gemstone. It's called a fei cui, jadeite. But we don't have jadeite in China. It's imported from Burma. The high quality jadeite is really rare. So the businessman invented a game. It's called a fei cui du shi, jadeite stone gambling. They open a small piece of skin of the raw gemstone to let you see the quality of the stone. This is called a kai tian chuang, open a roof window. But this is only the best quality of the stone. It doesn't mean the whole gemstone is the same quality. It's only a bait. So lots of people lost a lot of money. Today I will give you a brief introduction about the evolution of the ancient Chinese characters, oracle inscription, bronze inscription, and the small script. This character is Ri. That means sun, day, daytime. Let's take a look at the two forms of oracle inscriptions. One sun is in a circular shape, and the other is a square shape. Why is that? Oracle inscriptions are the writing system of China's Shang dynasty, dating back over 3,000 years. They were carved on tortoise belly shells and cattle shoulder blades with knives. As China's earliest mature form of writing, oracle inscriptions consist of more than 4,500 individual characters. We have deciphered over 1,500 of them. These inscriptions record the divinations of the Shang royal family regarding their daily lives and the major state affairs. There's a character Ri on this arcabon, and it is in a square shape. Since carving straight lines with a knife on arcabon is easier than carving circles. The character for sun took on a square form, and this also laid the foundation of the Chinese characters to be square-shaped. Jinwen, bronze inscription, is type for writing cast or engraved on the bronze vessels, such as bells and tripods. It's also known as the Zhongding Wen. It can be traced back to the late Shang dynasty. Initially, there were few characters, which were mostly used to mark clan names, personal names. By the Western Zhou dynasty, it reached its peak. The number of characters increased significantly, and the length of the inscriptions grew, with the longest inscription containing up to 497 characters. Bronze inscription records many aspects of society at that time, including sacrificial rites, wars, awarding ceremonies, and land transfers, etc. The main production method of bronze inscriptions is as follows. When casting bronze vessels, reverse characters are first carved on the clay mold. Then, molten bronze is poured into the mold, which allows the characters to be cast onto the surface of the vessel. Later, a small number of bronze inscriptions are also engraved on the bronze vessels after the vessels had been fully cast. If we look closely at this character Ri, the bottom part is circular. It's quite similar to the Smoso script. Its upper part is square and lower part is round. Bronze inscription inherits Archibald inscription and precedes Seal script, playing a crucial transitional role in the evolution of Chinese characters. When the Western Zhou dynasty came to an end in 771 BC, China entered the spring and autumn and warring states period. The rulers of the various vassal states no longer feared the son of heaven of the Eastern Zhou dynasty and launched wars against one another. By the way, in 678 BC, the state of Chu built China's earliest Great Wall on its border with the state of Qi. This initial Great Wall was not constructed to defense against the nomadics. During the Warring States period, there were 7 major vassal states: Qi, Chu, Yan, Han, Zhao, Wei, Qin. The written characters used by each of these vassal states had already become different by this time. For example, the character Ma, horse, and the character An, geese, looked different across the states. It was not until 221 BC that Emperor Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, conquered the other 6 vassal states, unified China, standardized the writing characters, and also currency, weights, and measures. Emperor Qin Shi Huang ordered his prime minister Li Si to create a unified official writing system, Xiaozhuan, the Smoso script. It's based on the existing Dazhuan, the large seal script used in the state of Qin, and later promoted it nationwide. By the way, there's a large bronze vessel called the Da Yu Ding, Great Yu Tripod, in the National Museum of China in Beijing. At the Palace Museum, also known as the Forbidden City, there are 10 drum-shaped stone artifacts. The inscriptions on both the bronze tripod and the stone drums are all in the large seal script. Additionally, in the National Museum in Taipei, there is the Mao Gongding, Duke Mao tripod, which bears the longest bronze inscription, 497 characters, and this inscription is also the large seal script. Okay, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye bye.